So I'm about to be on some bald-headed horse shit, okay? I mean, it's late and nothing's open this late, but what they say, some legs, a Waffle House, and obviously my mouth because I'm about to be real messy. So usually I'm asleep by this time because I believe in getting my beauty sleep. Well, I can think of another content creator who needs to get her beauty sleep as well, but I digress nonetheless. I was able to finally catch Alan Thompson Hollywood live tonight. Y'all know Troy's former moderator, and he decided to spill a little tea about Nick. Y'all know Nick, Feisty's brand manager. Well, after we got past the story of talking about whether or not Polo liked to juggle the little balls every now and then, we finally got around to Nick's story. Now, Nick, I would feel so disrespected. How you gonna come after a pair of balls? How's your storyline gonna follow balls, Nick? I mean, he could at least put you at the top of the story or the bottom of it, okay? Nonetheless, well, like I stated, Alan decided he was going to spill a little tea, okay, about Nick. And what we found out was that Alan received some information from some credible sources, not from one or two individuals, but a few credible individuals about who Nick really is, okay? Now, Nick, now what I'm about to share, I am highly disappointed because Nick, I was counting on you, Nick. I was believing that you was a God-fearing man, one who was doing stuff for Feisty from the heart. And even if it didn't come from the heart per se, I was still betting on it. Maybe Feisty would probably just, wait for you to get divorced, marry you, and then have a little come-uppance, and she can move her three little kids into your place, okay? You gotta sometimes use what you got to get what you want. But nonetheless, okay, back to this. So what we learned tonight is that first Alan said he clocked your T from the onset, okay? Unlike some of us, he clocked it, okay? You wasn't fooling Alan at all. What Alan said that he received from these very credible sources was that you initially lived in Atlanta and you ran from Atlanta to evade the police to San Antonio? So you too hopped the Greyhound bus? But you escaping from the popos, or why, you may ask? Now, he said that you have a whole soccer team full of kids. Well, not actually a soccer team, but he said you have 4 or 5 children that you have not paid child support on. Not this God-fearing man. I thought they said charity starts at home. 4 or 5 kids, but to make matters worse, you owe $235,000 of back child support? So I got one question, like, either what is your job or how long have you been owing this, Nick? $235,000? Child, you could have bought you a small little home in Atlanta for that, okay? So yeah, so you jumped a Greyhound and you out in San Antonio evading the popos because you refused to pay this child support. Now, what gets me is that Alan said you have never worked. You ain't never worked? How you get to 55 and you ain't never worked? So you ain't been paying into Social Security, Nick? So I am so confused because listening to Feisty, it appears that you have several jobs. You are brand manager by day and something else by night, but Alan said that you've never worked. So make it make sense, Alan. I'm so confused. But once we get past all this, you got 4 or 5 kids. So my mind goes immediately, how many baby mamas? But you a married man, so of course this came from your wife, right? No. He said you've been married 4 times. Uno, dos, tres, 4 times. I mean, how many times does it take to get it right? My God, today. Now, 4 times, Nick. So you telling me that you can't manage your house, but you trying to manage Feisty? Now make that make sense. Now none of this is adding up to me. Ooh, Jesus. Now the real question is, so you had 4 wives, according to Alan, and you have never worked. So you telling me there's 4 grown but women out there taking in a man who has never worked? And now we know your former wife, well, your current wife, is a lawyer. You telling me a lawyer married a man who ain't never worked? So you got 4 women taking care of you? Now make this make sense, Alan. Or Nick, I'm a little confused here. This is not adding up. So you ain't never worked. You got 4 ex-wives, 3 and a possible. No money. So tell me, Nick, what do you got? What are you offering? What are you bringing to the table? I thought the man was supposed to build the table, but it must be what's between your 2 legs, because it just ain't making sense. But to finish it all off now, Alan called you a 55 years old predator. Now, he didn't go into that further, but 55 years old predator. So it appears that Feisty might have a type. Marcus or Nick. But Nick, I am sure it is Alan that's confused and not me. You are Feisty, right? Because I'm sure, Alan is from California. I'm sure he is as confused as those California politics. Now, what I want you to do, Nick, now you need to come live. You need to come on someone's show, and you need to address Alan. You need to tell him to respect your title. You are brand manager. Respect your title, brand manager. Now, how you gonna let a former moderator talk to a brand manager, okay? So I want you to grab Alan by his little bitty ponytail and pull him out into the streets and address this, because we ain't about to let this go. Nick, who are you really? Well, cousins, that's it. That's all, y'all. Ciao.
Welcome to the show, welcome to the vibe, welcome to the fam where we cut through the lies, welcome to the Rocks Box Live. Hey.